Hello, America, and welcome to, I have to tell you something about that. Now, America, when I'm up till midnight, I tend to do very irrational things with, like, not even thinking about it, like, just whatever comes to me. I get all these weird ideas, like the time I bought that wig at midnight from China. I just went down and to set up the computer and was like, I think I need to buy a wig.
Because you saw it on TikTok.
No, it was YouTube. I saw it on YouTube.
That's the problem. When our parents start to learn social media and start watching social media, the ads are targeted for you guys these days.
It wasn't an ad. I've been watching this lady. She's younger. She's like your age or younger. And she just does, she's kind of plain. I want to say, okay, she's kind of ugly. But, and I'm not going to name names, but she does the most stunning makeovers. She just herself, she makes over herself, and she looks gorgeous. She is so talented. And at the end of the makeover, she always puts on a wig.
Okay.
So my thinking process,
as one does.
Yes, my thinking process was, wow, I need to get a wig so I can look like her.
That was the solution. That was the solution to looking like.
Yeah. Although she's like 30 something or 25, she's in between that age. I don't know. She's young, and I won't say America, but I'm in the 50s. And, for some reason I had the idea that I was going to look like her. And so I ordered at midnight that wig from China. So anyway, the point being that I've done a couple other things at midnight that are not good choices. And so
they're just odd choices.
Yeah, they're really like, I don't know, they're just out there. So it was midnight one night and I was sitting reading a book and just thinking about things. And I thought, I'm going to change the name of my podcast. I'm going to call it Crazy People Doing Crazy Things. Now,
yes, you had this thought, and then I wake up in the morning to 4 or 5 different text messages from you about this. They're all from at midnight and moving forward. Hi, so I was reading this book, and it said you should have a creative name for your podcast. I'm like, okay, I thought our name was creative. And then the next text is like, what do you think about this name? Crazy People Doing Crazy Things. 5 minutes later, she's already changed it. Changed our socials. Well, I hope you liked it because I changed it. I'm like,
because you didn't respond at midnight, even though you have to get up at 6 or 7 the next morning.
I'm so sorry.
I expected you to give me some kind of feedback.
You're like my friend Gina, who tells me, I don't know why I have to be punished just because you have to work, because she doesn't work anymore, and that's the joke. She's unemployed and she's being punished for it.
I see. So anyway, I went ahead. I changed all our social media accounts to Crazy People Doing Crazy Things. So, America, I am one of those crazy people doing crazy things. Mm-hmm. So I kind of feel that somehow the name fits.
We'll see. We'll see if it lasts.
And we've got Autumn, we've got X.
I'm not sold on
We've got you.
Yeah.
So I figure there's a lot of crazy people that we know.
It's just a very long name, and I think maybe our listeners should give us a suggestion on what we should name
some feedback.
Our podcast.
Yeah, we'll put the question up on our poll or put the question up where they can write in. So, but yeah, X told me that I texted her too at midnight to get her input.
And she's awake.
Yeah, she's awake. Mm-hmm. she's in California and she stays up till 2 or 3 anyway. So she's one of those California people. I just had to throw that in there. No offense, California. I love California. So anyway, so she said that it should be shorter. She said that I should call it the Crazies.
What?
Yeah, and I wasn't real fond of that name.
I'm not sold on that. That makes it sound like we're like
Lunatics?
It's I don't mind being called crazy. It's the image. I am a very put together crazy person. I'm not disheveled crazy.
Right.
I'm
Well, I think people can see that from looking at you and hearing you talk about your life experience.
Right.
I think they think she's beautiful, but she's crazy.
But there's some screws loose in there.
Right.
She's probably unhinged. And
Yeah.
I can hide it for a while.
But eventually
Eventually it comes out.
it comes out.
It comes out.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've done right now, America.
So that's why we didn't introduce you to our podcast,
Life
in
is
the
funny
beginning.
that way.
because we don't
Right.
have a name right now.
Right.
At least not one that we can agree on.
We are in transition. We are not sure what we're doing. So, yeah.
Well, I'm Sarah, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm Di Viola.
How's your week been, Mom?
Okay, well, here's what happened this week. And for some reason, America, I have to tell you, my seatbelt ringer has not come back on all week. And we're starting it up the regular way, not the 1, 2, 3 click.
Yep.
So, my husband and I are baffled. We don't know why it stopped ringing. I'm just thinking it's a miracle of God.
God is just like, all right,
They've had enough. They got crazy children. They got crazy
Right.
family. We can't drive them insane. We need to help them out. So anyway, that's my only explanation for that. So the second thing this week, here's the thing. So somehow, I don't know how, I got logged out of my app for my podcast on my phone this week.
Mm-hmm.
Could not get back in for like 5 days. So I finally figured out a way to get back in. Do you want to know how that was?
Well, yeah, I do, because I need to log into the podcast sometimes too. So
It was on my phone. I gave it to Autumn. That's how I did. I said, Autumn. Well, she saw me talking to tech support for Spotify, and I was very not understanding any of the questions that they posed to me. And I finally said, Autumn, I cannot get back in. The email verification, I don't know my email, I don't know my password. They're not sending me things to the right email. So Autumn finally figured it out, wrote the password and the email down on a card, an index card, and said, put this somewhere. You won't forget
just
it.
another thing that people in your generation have to have is a list of their passwords
Yeah.
somewhere.
So I'm going to do that now, America. I'm going to get a notebook and I'm going to write down all my passwords and for everything that I have. And so that way I won't forget them. And the problem with this, America, why I haven't done this before is because my husband was paranoid about it.
Like someone's going to hack into our podcast
Yeah,
and
it wasn't
steal all of our things, steal our ideas.
Yeah. He wasn't worried about the podcast. He was worried about the bank
I know.
account. So I'm still iffy on if I'm going to put that one. But I thought, who comes? I have a junk drawer. It's filled to the brim with junk papers. So I was going to put it in the junk drawer. Hopefully I won't lose it in there.
Where it'll get lost from you and the
Yes.
thieves.
The thieves. And I thought, what thief is going to come in, take the time to process and dig through my junk drawer
They're
to
not.
find the password for my bank account, which will probably be on the bottom of the junk. So
maybe it's just that you don't have the bank account password.
I need to do transferring money and things like that sometimes.
Or you just have a pin you remember in your head?
No, I don't have a pin that I remember in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most people, like everybody does.
I'm not
What do you
everybody.
use? You use an actual password?
What happens is this. I go to Dad and I say, I need to transfer some money. And I say, either can you do it for me? Or I say, can you tell me a password that will get me in? So that's what I do.
I see.
I have a dad.
Okay.
I have a dad. Well,
Yeah.
he's a husband.
He's my dad. Yes.
He's your dad. Yeah. No, but I usually ask him to tell me. But I did just get Venmo, and I went crazy with it.
You've been paying my son.
Yeah. That was like the minute I got it. He was the first person I sent
sure.
money to.
You've been paying him behind my back.
I know. I was like, I'm going to give James $10. I was like, honey, let's try this out and see how it works. So I was like, James, click, click. Sent him money right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent somebody else money too. And then I had to pay somebody some money, so I used it for that. But I sent 3 or 4 people money, and somehow Dad was not aware I was doing this. And he saw it on the bank account, and he was like, who are you sending money to? Did you do this, or is this somebody getting in,
Mm-hmm.
to our bank account? And I was like, no, that was me. I sent James some money. So he's like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I might get out of control on Venmo. That's the only thing that worries me a little because it's so easy.
Who are you paying?
Well, here's the deal.
Who else are you paying besides your grandkid?
I can't remember the second person I sent it to, but the third person, one might have been myself. I know.
Our lash tech takes Venmo, and I know the nail salon probably does.
Yeah. Well, I gave it to a friend because we ordered food and she paid for it, so I paid for my part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was, but yeah. So I've been holding back from the Venmo. Mm-hmm. Because I
never
feel
knew that could be a problem for someone. But I guess
feel this
now
could
we know.
Be a possible addiction for me. So I'm going to have to slow down on the Venmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we found out last night.
We are having a baby girl.
Yes.
And when I say we, I mean my brother and his wife are having a baby girl, but it's my first niece. Mm. And I'm very excited. I've already started my shopping. And
tell what happened, how your shopping experience happened.
Well, I was just at Walmart, and mm-hmm. I don't know, all of a sudden I was just in the baby aisle. And I was like, well, this is weird.
Don't know how that happened.
I don't know how I arrived here.
How did I get here? Last night when you found out you did this.
Yeah, because I was going grocery shopping, mm-hmm. and I think that was my motivation to actually go grocery shopping because I knew in the back of my head, they have baby clothes there.
So somehow you just took a wrong turn.
I just ended up there.
Ended up in the baby section.
And $30 later, I got my groceries after I spent $30 on baby stuff because I was so excited.
And tell about the onesie you got, the baby onesie.
Yeah, so I haven't ordered it yet, but it's a onesie that says, "Take me to my aunt, you peasant." Take me to my aunt, perfect. Peasant. Yeah. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I know, me too.
I can't wait.
Me too, and I'm so glad we're having a girl, and I think that'll be more accommodating to James because he's still the only boy.
Yes, the only boy.
Yeah.
He won't feel as threatened.
Yeah.
So
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it'll be different, because we've had a boy, now it's time to have a girl. And
Right, and I'm just excited about all the frou-frou dresses we're gonna buy.
Yeah.
All the little pretty princess dresses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I love about girls. You get to buy all those little pretty sparkly dresses.
Yes.
And, yeah, bows.
I know. I've been looking for matching outfits for me and her. She's not my kid, but
that's where you are, the matching outfits.
Yes.
Maybe
like
three
Cheetah Print.
No,
me and her.
Just you and her, huh?
Oh, you want in on this?
Yeah,
okay.
I was thinking about
Grandma,
it.
auntie, and little baby girl.
Yeah, all match. I'm sure that Addison and his wife would really appreciate that. We're taking the baby
We
out
don't
today.
want to lose each other in the crowd.
That's right. We'll know what to look for.
Yeah, you got lost all the time, Maddie. You know.
Yeah, he did.
We're just doing our due
He
diligence.
did. Yeah. Yeah.
We're just keeping track of her in case she decides to walk towards the freeway or get in somebody else's car.
Do like her dad
Sound
did.
familiar, Addison?
Yes, that's true. That's a point I didn't consider. But yeah, so we're really excited about this baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking today, what are some of the differences we've experienced between you girls and the Addisons and our son Addison, your brother Addison? Because I feel like, well, first of all, you girls were way more emotional than Addison. Addison was like a lump in a rock
Addie's
for the first 3 years.
He's not an emotional person in general. I mean,
Yeah.
he has emotions, but he's just very
Laid back.
and he's a comedian. And I don't know, girls, we definitely we just have emotions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that hanging out with friends is different because, like with James, I'm still planning his hangouts with his friends at this age. Like, he doesn't
and
care.
He's 13. So.
And then today, like, he had a friend sleepover, and I'm sure you can relate to this, but boys just don't care about decency because he had a friend sleepover, and I came home from getting my eyebrows threaded, and him and his friend are sitting on the couch, and his friend's just sitting there in his boxers, and I'm just like,
and you're
at
there.
my apartment, yeah. I'm just like, son, I don't know you. What are you? James doesn't bother to tell him to put some pants on, but he just sat there and hung out, and I'm like,
well, this reminds me of what your brother did. Do you remember when you were a teenager, maybe Addie was like 14, and you're 16, and you had a friend, Krista, come over and spend the night. Well, she spent the night. I don't know that Addie was aware of this, so he's sitting in the family room in his boxers, no shirt, just his boxer. Boxers. You guys come down. He kind of notices, there's Sarah's friends here. So I'm thinking, I see him go upstairs, so I'm thinking, oh good, he's gonna go get dressed because Krista's here. And so he comes back down. He's wearing a shirt and his boxers.
yep.
No shame.
They just
He
can't.
sits back on the couch in front of his Xbox.
They don't have any awareness.
Yeah, this is why old men walk around in their underwear. Because men they never grow out of that. It just never clicks with them. Like,
Right.
I need to put on some clothes. In fact, my husband told me a funny story about he was on a Zoom call with like 7 or 8 other people, for work. And this she's in her kitchen, and this old guy in his 60s, 70s, I don't know how old he was, 60s probably. He walks into the kitchen, walks up behind her. He's butt naked.
Oh my gosh.
Dad said she was like, get out of here, she looked at him, she's like, get out of here. And my dad was like, you saw everything.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like screaming at him, and then after he left, she had to like look back at all the people,
At all
on
her
the
coworkers?
Zoom call and just like face them. And she said, Dad said she was very uncomfortable after that. I mean, that's probably putting it mildly. But
How was he not aware that she was on a Zoom call?
well, here's the question I want to ask.
Why is he butt naked in the kitchen?
Yes. Who goes into their kitchen butt naked? It's like you're just walking around after a shower.
I don't know.
And it's
I
cold.
mean,
It's winter.
I don't know. I don't know. I walk around my house,
In
half
PJs.
dressed,
Right.
but never in the nude. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's odd. Men are just odd.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if it ever gets to that phase with Dad, I'm going to shoot him, put him out of his misery,
Well,
put him out of my
hopefully you
misery.
won't have any Zoom calls.
Yes, Dad never does that, so I'm thankful for that. He doesn't really do either of those things, so that I'm grateful, because my dad used to do that too all the time. He would head down in the middle of the night or late at night when he was in his bed. He'd get up in his boxers. He always had a t-shirt on and walk down the hall to the kitchen.
Yep.
And so, after a while, as I got
Just get used to it,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, is Dad in the kitchen eating something with his boxers? Yeah,
Yep.
he's hungry. It's okay.
And I thought one of Addie's friends had done that one time. He just was downstairs watching Beauty and the Beast and
yeah.
or was he in his boxers or no?
No, he was dressed, but here's the thing. I don't know how old the kid was, maybe 16. I go downstairs to tell him to come up, have some cereal or whatever for breakfast. I go down there. Well, it was probably afternoon by then, like noon. He's laying on the couch. He might have been in his boxers. I can't really remember, but he's laying on the couch down there, and I go down there. He's watching Beauty and the Beast. He's like 16, and it's not just that he's casually looking at it. He's absorbed.
He's intently watching
in it.
He likes
And
the
he's
story.
just like laying there, and he goes, okay, in a minute. I'm like, okay, you do you.
Yeah.
Just when you're ready, come up and eat something.
When you feel like you can press pause on this.
When you get to a stopping point.
Yeah.
And Beauty and the Beast had been out for several years. First of all,
It's still a classic though. It's like he's a grumpy old man and she's a sweet girl, and then she teaches him and he just changes.
And then he walks around in his boxers too, years later when they're an old couple.
Probably, yes. Exactly.
But that is one of the major differences about men and modesty, is that it's not important to them.
It's not relevant.
They just, I don't know, they just don't care. They just don't worry that, I don't know, they're like, well, somebody sees it. They're not going to care.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, what's something else that's different? I don't know. I just feel boys were easier. Like, Addie really was mild his whole life. Addison was mild his whole life. But I remember the difference when I had you. You constantly needed to be entertained. You wanted to be social, and which was fine. I should have gotten you into more social. I should have gotten you into some social things other than just going playing with friends once in a while when you were little. I mean, it's at 2. You were like ready to go out and meet people.
I had things to do.
And
I had so many adorable outfits. I needed people to see them.
You did. You did have a lot of adorable outfits. But Addison, I remember I got him, when I had him, I brought him home as a baby, and when he was old enough to sit up, I would put him on a blanket, and he would just sit there and drool for 6 hours. So it was so much easier. And even when he got up to 2 or 3, I would put a movie on for him and he would lay on the couch and watch it.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be entertained. Like he was, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
And none of you girls were like that. In fact, X was very attached to me. She was a total mama's girl.
Mm-hmm.
She would go to her dad slightly, or
Yeah.
as she got older, it was easier. She was fine, but so Dad and I decided this one night we're gonna go out. So normally I'd have to kind of hold her till she went to sleep, and the first time I left her with the babysitter, she would not go to sleep. She cried and everything, and it was awful. I think we ended up coming home. So the second time we tried to go out, we put her in bed, and she woke up, or she didn't go to sleep. She's making noise or whatever. The babysitter comes in there. She looks up from her crib, sees the babysitter, and was like, just lays back down and goes to sleep. She was, 6 months, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she saw the baby. She's like, never mind. I'm just going to
You're
sleep.
useless.
My mother's not here, obviously. So, yeah. But girls are just, and I guess it varies, but I found girls were more talkative, more, interacting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and boys, when they're young, they're confused a lot. Very,
Yes.
very confused.
And then they turn 13 and they know it all.
Yeah.
They know everything.
Yeah. Yeah, as all teenagers
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the major things that stand out to me. I remember boys also get lost a lot.
Yeah.
I remember when Addison was maybe 3, 4, we were in a store, and it was a store I wasn't even familiar with. We were in Oregon on a trip, and we went to this, I think it was a grocery store or some kind of outlet store. Anyway, they had groceries there too. I do remember that. So we go to this store. Somehow he gets ahead of me. I'm pushing the cart. I lose him. So I'm panicking. I'm like running through the aisles, calling his name, looking for him. And finally I found him in this aisle looking confused. And so I'm like, son, I'm like, so relieved that I found him. Like, he goes, Mom, I lost you. Like I was the one
like
lost.
you were the one lost.
He just acted like, you got lost. What's up with that? You're a mom. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. I know. I remember when James was maybe like 2 or 3, but we were doing some shopping at JCPenney's because they had a big sale. And so I'm at the register, and we were with my friend Benita and her kids. And, he's standing by me, and then he goes to like hide in the clothes rack. And then all of a sudden, like I turn around and he's gone. Like we could not find him anywhere in the store. He had run all the way out into the mall.
Oh,
was
gosh.
just
I
living
think I
his
remember
best
that.
life.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm crying.
Frantic. Yeah.
My hair lady, she came in and she was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" She's like, happy, like she was gonna say hi, and then she realized I was upset, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I can't find James." And so she tells her boyfriend, "We've got to find James." But
Yeah.
he had ran out into the mall, and some security guard brought him back, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I've had that happen with you guys.
Because he was so small.
Yeah.
And then, yesterday, they just kind of don't have any sense of awareness or direction, because as we were walking out of Walmart, he knew where we parked, but he's going somewhere, pushing the cart with his friend. I'm like, "Son, where are you going? Because that's not where we parked."
Right.
And he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, their sense of direction isn't the best
Yeah.
until maybe the teen years, because now I get lost about where I parked, and he tells me over here, and he just has this look on his face like grandma's crazy. So, but he's kind enough to direct me. Like I was walking straight one time in the store. I thought I parked towards the other side of the parking lot. You know how there's two different doors,
Yeah.
like one into Walmart, the other into Walmart. So I come out of the aisle and I turn towards the other end. I'm gonna take a right, turn towards the other end. As I do it, James just says, "Nope." So I go, oh, okay. And I turn around the other way, and I'm still in the parking lot. I'm listening to him, and I'm even turned the wrong way to the car, and he's like, "Nope," again, or whatever. He's like, "Turn right." So I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, thank goodness he has a sense of direction out, because I've lost it.
Yeah.
And I even told him, I said, I didn't used to be like this. And he goes, I know. I remember when you were,
like,
when
sure.
you knew where, but he did say, I remember when you knew where you were. I remember those days. I was younger, but I remember. He goes, I know.
Funny.
So, but boys, don't have the best sense of direction.
Yeah.
But boys are also easier to shop for. They don't care like if you're getting them a treat or some food or something, they really don't care what they get. They'll usually give you a few options. Like, I can say to James, you want McDonald's? Yeah, I'll have McDonald's, or, he'll kind of, either one's fine, or.
As long as it's plain.
Yeah, but like Autumn, the difference between shopping for James and Autumn had strep.
Didn't she have to have 1/10 of a patty or something?
Yeah, well, we talked about that 1/10 of a patty, but when she was a child and she had strep, she said, will you get me macaroni and cheese for lunch? And I said, sure. And she was about 5. And I said, sure, I'll get it for you. And she said, and can you get me the SpongeBob shapes? The other kind hurts my throat.
Oh my God.
So.
Yeah, she's the most particular out of all of us.
Yeah, she is the most particular. But, girls will be more specific about what they want. Yep. And boys are like, yeah, just grab me a hamburger, just grab me. I mean, James will say, make it plain. I don't care about what else. Just make it plain.
That's his only requirement.
Yeah.
He doesn't even care about clothes.
Yeah, I'm amazed he doesn't want ketchup or mustard.
No.
He doesn't like sauces.
Nope, he doesn't like
no
sauces.
No barbecue sauce, nothing.
Right now, it just grosses him out, I guess. I don't know.
I guess he's at that phase. You guys all went through phases with your food. But yeah, but those are kind of the differences that come to mind with me. What about you? Is there anything else that you see or think of?
No, I mean, I think that's it. I've only had a boy and just had siblings, so I think we covered it.
Yeah. So, America, now I need to give you the where to find us.
Yeah, where can they find us now that you changed the name at midnight?
So here's the thing, America. I changed the name, but I have not committed to it. So I changed the name on social media, but I did not change it on our website, because that means I have to pay for another domain. And Dad was like, well, if you do that, you're going to have to pay for another domain. And I'm like, well, I better make sure I'm committed. So I did change the title. So it's still lifeisfunnythatway.com. But when you go to the webpage, the homepage.
Need to explain that the title's going to be different.
No, here's the thing. It says crazy people doing crazy things.
Yeah.
So I changed the title, but not the website.
I know. And you don't need to explain that to them. You just need to tell them where they can find us on social media.
Okay. Lifeisfunnythatway.com is our website. For now.
What's our Instagram?
I don't know our Instagram. I forgot.
Did you change our Facebook page? Or
yes. Our Facebook page is Crazy People Doing Crazy Things. Our TikTok page is Crazy People Doing Crazy Things. Our YouTube page, I believe, is the same. So, Our email is still lifeisfunnythatway57@gmail.com. So, America, drop us a line. Send us, I don't know.
Send us what you think our podcast should be named, and send us
Yeah, let
what
us
we should
know.
talk about next.
Yeah, give us a topic. Yeah, do that, America.
And I'm going to let you close this out, Mom, because I don't even know what to say at the end of the podcast anymore.
Yeah, we can't say life is funny that way. And remember, life's funny. Okay, so remember, America, crazy people do crazy things. Goodbye.